Well, another year, another season of MLP has come to an end. Man, it just seemed to flow by so fast, didn't it? Or maybe it's because I didn't do a first reaction for the episodes like last season. And I know some of you may be disappointed by that, but if you stay till the end of this video, you can see the highlights of my initial reaction to From Where and Back Again. Or you could just skip to it. But come on, that's cheating. Anyway, let's get into this. These are my top 10 favorite episodes of Friendship is Magic Season 6. Oh, and again, spoilers.
Number 10.
The Times They Are a Changeling. This was Spike's season. Not only was he on his A game in most of the episodes he was featured, but he was the star of two of my favorites, and the first one was this. He's insanely likable in this, funny, and has the slightly cocky attitude that make him so great. But as great as Spike is, I think the one who steals the show is Thorax. Not only is he likable and shows that not everyone who grows up in a bad environment will turn out bad, which they also did a little later now that I think about it, but they also managed to make a black, blue-eyed monster with holes in his hooves absolutely adorable. And the conflict is great too. You totally understand why Shining Arbor and Cadence wouldn't trust a changeling because, well, that. And because Spike is hailed as a hero to the Crystal Empire, it makes sense why he would be afraid to tell them about Thorax. The song isn't one of the most memorable, but Spike's voice actress does such a fantastic job singing it. Seeing the Crystal Empire again is always fun, and even the guards are surprisingly funny in this one. What else can I say? It may not be the best Spike episode, but it definitely deserves to rank up there with Equestria Games and Secret of My Excess.
If only that were true.
It is! I mean, I am! It's me, Spike!
Number 9.
Every Little Thing She Does. Let me just say, Starlight in the span of one season has become one of my favorite characters. She was the main focus of 3 episodes in this top 10, and the first one, Every Little Thing She Does, is the perfect mix of funny, creepy, and heartwarming. Seeing the characters mess up all these tasks is pretty funny, but also really unnerving. The creepy stares, the monotone way they talk, it's just really creepy. I love Starlight in this episode. I don't really relate to her, but I can totally understand her dilemma. Being really good at certain tasks that take a lot of time and effort, but then being freaked out about something as simple as baking a cake or making a scrapbook with friends. Great episode, but please, stop having Starlight brainwash people.
What did you have in mind, Rarity? Whatever you want me to have in my mind, Starlight Glimmer.
Number 8.
Flutter Brighter. Now I know what you're thinking. Why that one? Well, this seems to be the Just for Sidekicks or Appaloosa's Most Wanted of the season. An episode most people either hated or just thought was okay, but I really liked. It seems how much you like this episode depends on how much you like Zephyr Breeze. Well, I love this guy. Yeah, he was a spoiled, obnoxious moocher who rarely takes responsibility and can't hold down a job, but man, I just laughed so much watching him, and I loved his show-offy personality, and he never seemed outright malicious. He always just seemed that he was used to being taken care of by his parents and never seemed satisfied. I actually know some people like this, and like Zephyr, they aren't bad people, and eventually they learn to become independent and get jobs that they liked. And I like that moral. It doesn't have too much to do with friendship, but it is important. But yeah, besides that, I also love Fluttershy in this. Not only is this one of her funniest roles, but she's relatable. As the oldest, I can tell you it is really difficult to criticize your younger siblings, and it shows how angry they can make you. Enough to even say the P word. So if you didn't like this episode because you thought it wasn't funny or Zephyr was just too obnoxious that it caused you to cringe, I get it, but I've heard a few people say they didn't like it because he was unlikable and spoiled, and to that I say, yeah, that's the whole point. That's like watching Schindler's List and saying it sucks because the Nazis were too mean. And he learned his lesson, so yeah, in my opinion, this is one of the most underrated episodes in the series. Also, this is how you bring a brother character several seasons in and do it right, Double O Schnozmo. God, that fucking episode.
I know the whole super awesome flyer bits just to impress me.
Number 7.
Top Bolt. This episode cemented Joanna Lewis and Christine Sanko as my new favorite writers. Michael Vogel and Josh Haber come close, but these two perfectly blend all the elements that make the show great. Great comedy, great relatable stories, having the characters be at their best, and heart. Real, believable heart. This was my favorite of the map episodes of the season. Twilight and Dash work really well together and create some good comedy. Speaking of which, this episode has some great facial expressions. The animators were clearly having a lot of fun. I also really like these two new characters. One's an eccentric show-off while the other is shy and thinks too little of herself. So basically Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy clones, but they still clearly cared a lot for each other. Their friendship shows and the conflict is believable. This whole time, Vapor Trail was helping Sky Stinger with his flying, and she has to decide in which way to hurt him, by telling him the truth or letting him humiliate himself in front of every pony. And their fight makes sense. The moral about knowing when helping your friends could actually be hurting them is a really good lesson that I'm surprised hasn't been done yet. Also, I love Spitfire in this episode. I mean, she's usually pretty funny, but she just had me howling with laughter half the time. So yeah, best map episode of the season and probably my favorite map episode so far.
We'll ace that test with our wings tied behind our flanks. My picture will go right up there, next to yours.
Number 6.
The Saddlero Review, or Saddlero and Wreck, whatever you want to call it. This episode doesn't have the greatest or most original plot, the moral is pretty standard, and it doesn't really add much besides Rarity finally opening her boutique, but there are two things that make this episode great. One is the framing device. The gimmick of telling the whole episode in flashback with the characters telling this reporter about the opening day of the boutique is a really interesting way to tell this story. But the best thing that puts it onto this list is the comedy. This episode is absolutely hilarious. Every minute gave me at least one really good laugh, and I was constantly chuckling throughout it. From Twilight's sweeping song to Pinky's angel and demon spat, Rainbow Dash trying to find employees, Harper Pony, Rarity's worrying, and all the little quips they make while talking to the reporter. It's just an episode that kept me laughing from beginning to end. The characters are all at their best, and the ending is really nice. It even has some good background gags that give it rewatch value. It's basically like the Money Pit, which I know didn't get really good reviews, but I remember liking it. Shit just constantly going wrong and every pony trying to make this all work without going mad. Yeah, it's a plot we've seen before, but it's done so well here. I've yet to hear anyone say they dislike this one, and for good reason, because it's just that much fun.
The dream is doomed! Doomed, I tell you! Doomed!
Number 5.
Gauntlet of Fire. Like I said earlier, this season had some of the best Spike moments, and this episode was the highlight. It's basically the sequel to Dragon Quest, which I thought was fine, but was never one of my favorites. I like this one better. Spike is much more interesting, the other dragons are funnier, and Princess Ember is a nice breath of fresh air to show that not all teenage dragons are stereotypical jocks. Also, yeah, Princess Ember, she's awesome. Like, I want to see more of her. It's also really entertaining, just for the visuals and action. It feels a lot like How to Train Your Dragon. Not just because it has dragons, but the tone is very similar. And since I love the How to Train Your Dragon movies, it also makes sense I love this. It's funny, it's sweet, and it's a nice adventure. And this is probably the best Spike has ever been. Like, let me put it this way. Just for Sidekicks made me laugh more, and Equestria Games hit me more on an emotional level, but just for Spike himself, this is the best Spike episode ever made.
They're my friends. Friends? Dragons don't do friends.
Well, this dragon does.
No, too easy.
Number 4.
From Where and Back Again. This finale took a lot of risks. The main 6 are barely in it, they contribute nothing to the main plot, there's no songs, making this the only finale to not have any, and it focuses mostly on characters who all at one point were villains. It's sort of like a kid version of Suicide Squad, except they turned good at some point. I don't think this is quite as good as Twilight's Kingdom. That finale will probably always be the best just in terms of spectacle, but this one's a close second. I love these 4. Discord and Trixie are absolutely hilarious. In fact, if the movie coming out next year is just these 2 doing shenanigans, I will go and see it multiple times. It also has great build-up. I really like that we didn't see the events that happened while Starlight was away. It just adds this mystery. How were the main 6 captured? We don't know. All that matters is they were, and now these 4 have to save them. The idea that changelings don't need to feed on others' love if they experience friendship themselves is brilliant. I can't believe I didn't think of that before. Starlight gets some major character growth, and she finally finally learns to get over her past. And the fact that they can't use magic while around the Changeling Hive adds more suspense. I'm honestly trying to think of anything I thought was weak. I can only come up with a few small nitpicks, like I guess the climax was a little rushed and it does sort of just stop, but besides that, this finale was great.
But no pony else is coming, so some pony better come up with something. Any pony?
Number 3.
Stranger than Fanfiction. This season really upped the male characters with Thorax, Zephyr Breeze, Sunburst, Tender Taps, Sky Stinger, and of course Quibblepants. I love this guy. I just love him for how much of a stereotypical angry fanboy he is. We've all seen this guy. Hell, some of us probably act like him from time to time, and because of that, I really related to Rainbow Dash's frustration. And Patton Oswalt does a good job in voicing him, giving him enough laughs that he still stays likable because he could have so easily gone into obnoxious to the audience and not just the character's territory. But besides him, there's two main reasons I love this episode. One, it's a really great adventure. It's another Daring Do episode who's a parody of Indiana Jones, so you better be a great adventure. The action is funny, the comedy is great, the animation is fantastic, and it's got enough crazy traps and puzzles to keep you interested. And the other reason is the moral. Oh my god, this is one of the most important lessons this show has ever done. The fact that you can like and dislike other things from your friends and can still be friends. If you don't follow this lesson, then eventually you're going to lose all of your friends. And yeah, this can easily apply to this show since there are some fans who fell out of love with it after season 3, but it can also apply to pretty much every single fandom I've ever seen. And what really drives it home is that even after all the shit he went through, even realizing that Daring Do is real, Quibblepants still doesn't like the later books. And you know what? That's okay, because even though he can be a little pretentious, he's still a good friend, and he's smart when it comes to ancient puzzles. So yeah, if I were to recommend just one episode to watch, not to get people into the show, but just one that I think they should watch, this would be it. I guess since this is like Indiana Jones, it only makes sense that this is my favorite Daring Do episode, since The Last Crusade was my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Plus it has some of the best Rainbow Dash faces, let's not forget that.
You need to get your money back.
Number 2.
The Fault in Our Cutie Marks. Ed Valentine returns in spectacular fashion with what is basically a spiritual sequel to Flight to the Finish. This hits that same sweet spot that Testing 1 2 3 and Castle Sweet Castle hit, where they are just so insanely likable. They have a charm to them that makes them rewatchable and makes you forgive any flaws they may have. Gabby the Griffin is one of the most adorable characters on the show, and that's saying something. She could have easily come across as annoying given her extreme giddiness and, well, the fact that she's pretty much good at everything, but the voice actress and fact that she just has the passion make it work. This also is one of the best CMC starring roles. On Your Marks was okay, but this so much better shows how they can use their special talents to help others. And like I said, this feels like a follow-up to Flight to the Finish, because even though Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle are there and contribute, this feels like a Scootaloo episode, with how determined she is to help Gabby, knowing what it's like to not have something she feels she just can't get. The song is amazing. Like Hearts as Strong as Horses, it kind of feels like a battle song, and I love the ending. It doesn't cop out by giving Gabby a cutie mark, but still ends on a really nice note. I had a huge smile on my face during the last couple minutes, similar to Crusaders The Lost Mark. This is probably the most rewatchable episode of the season, but there's one episode I like just a little bit more.
Where do we even start? Where we always do, with a good old-fashioned Crusaders chart.
But before we get to that, here are some honorable mentions. The Chrysaling. The main story of the episode is good, but the subplot with Starlight and Sunburst is freaking great. I would not have minded if that was the whole thing. Spice up your life. Rarity and Pinky are always fun together, the conflict is nice, and it's got a sweet ending. Pony Point of View. Yeah, it's a story we've heard before, I've seen it on stuff like Ed, Edd and Eddy and Sonic Boom, but I really like this story. Seeing the same events told from different points of view is not only funny, but gives you an interesting look into the characters' minds. Viva Las Pegasus. I really like the conflict, Flim and Flam are fun, and I like that they don't really learn the lesson. And the villain is great in just how stereotypically evil he is. And finally, Where the Apple Lies. This was just cute. The message is pretty standard, but Applejack's adorable and Big Mac absolutely steals the show. But that's it for honorable mentions, so let's move on to...
Number 1.
A Heartwarming Tale. How do I describe how much I love this episode? Well, if you go back on this channel, then you'll see a couple years ago I did a list of my top 15 favorite Christmas episodes, in which there was so much competition that I had an honorable mentions list of 21. Well, this episode couldn't have made it onto the list due to the rules I had set for myself, but if it could, this would have been at number 2. And it would have come close to number 1 because, like Arnold's Christmas, the thing this episode gets down perfectly is the atmosphere. This feels like Christmas. The music, the animation, the tone, the lighting, every single song is good, and most of them are great. Pinky's song especially, I could imagine listening to these every year around the holidays just while I'm decorating or baking something. And the story of A Christmas Carol fits perfectly into the show. They get all the right characters to play the ghosts, and while in the original story, Scrooge learned to be nice because if he didn't, Tiny Tim would die and he would die alone and forgotten, here Snowball learns if she erases Heartwarming, then Equestria will be caught in eternal winter. I absolutely adore this episode. This is the episode I want to live in. And as much as I enjoy the other Heartwarming specials, if I could only pick one, this is the one I would watch every Christmas alongside Arnold's Christmas and Arthur's Christmas. Thankfully, I don't have to make that decision and can enjoy them all. So I hope you enjoyed this, and since you've all been so patient, unless you weren't, fucking cheaters, here are the highlights from my first viewing of From Where and Back Again. Please enjoy.
A bird? Is it a parasprite?
It's Superman.
Incoming!
Oh shit. Oh, Derpy. Derpy, yes.
For me?
Oh.
Who would be sending me a letter?
Your old slaves.
Hey
There are our new founders. Who the hell are you? I'm gonna guess this is a dream. Luna? Luna with Starlight?
Is any pony there?
Yes.
Princess Luna? What are you doing here?
It's my
Dreams are my
thing.
domain, Starlight Glimmer. I am here because you
All
need
right.
me to be.
Or even worse, maybe I haven't changed as much as I think I have.
I have dreams about killing all of you.
Different pony now. Maybe if you took a friend along, it might make things easier. Some pony you trust who would look out for you.
Spike.
Thanks so much for doing.
Starlight, you came!
Your voice is amazing.
It is so good to see you.
Oh, yes.
Even when you're not doing that, you still sound creepy. Oh my god.
You're probably wondering why I'm back so soon.
Nope.
Where were you? I went to my old village for the festival. Ooh, sounds fun! How was it? It was kind of a disaster.
It's creepy going
I came
on.
back early because I freaked out.
Oh shit.
Hello?
What do you want? Twilight's very busy.
Cranky Spike is second best Spike after Dog Spike. Oh shit.
What are you? The changelings have returned.
Oh my god.
And it's too late for that.
Oh shit. I love like battles that happen off screen and they come back and it's like, whoa. What if this is just them and they're just being dicks for the night? Oh shit. Oh, that was creepy. Cool.
But maybe just stay over there for now, okay?
Racist.
What did you mean? There's Sorry Heart, Twilight, and her friends? We need to...
They took Fluttershy.
Oh shit.
Where?
Oh god.
Kingdom.
Those
You are
fucking
outside.
changelings are going down. In sunlight, this place looks so much worse. That has nothing to do with the episode, I'm just telling myself that.
Chrysalis's throne is carved from an ancient dark stone that soaks up outside magic the same way changelings soak up love. It's how she keeps
Well,
the hive
fuck,
safe.
we're screwed. Well, we're
where's the way
trapped.
out?
It's a changeling hive. It shifts and changes like we do, and we're the only
Keep an
ones who
eye
can
on the
navigate it.
changeling
It's
holes.
total
They
chaos,
like to
not
change.
changelings.
Don't worry. 7 years from now, they'll pretty much give up on that. We need more Trixie and Discord. Why have these two not appeared together before?
Wonderful.
Guys, I think we're lost.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you have magic.
Seriously, this isn't the toughest crowd I've ever been in front of, but it's definitely the easiest to bug. To bug?
Racist little fuck.
It is absolutely ridiculous that worked.
I love Trixie and Discord. Perfect combination. Why has this not happened before? Fluttershy?
Fluttershy?
Oh no.
Discord, I'm stuck.
You certainly
No,
are.
she's not. She's not, dude. Don't. This was a mistake. Holy shit. Holy crap! That was too quiet. Well, that's fucking horrifying.
Oh, how will I ever prevent this daring rescue?
Well, series over. Holy fucking shit. Well, that was worth a shot, but...
Clever. And clearly Thorax revealed to you this much longer.
Then don't! Sharing love is what made you different to begin with. You should share yours with Chrysalis. Give her all of it.
When are you gonna fucking learn? Friendship is magic, bitch! Cool! And they all died.
Good to see you too.
Oh.
Star.
Oh shit. Don't make us kill you.
When
Cool.
Twilight and her friends defeated me, I chose
That's the
to run
words
away
of the
and seek revenge.
last time it was
You
holy
don't
shit,
have
this
to.
time it's
You
cool.
can be the leader your
Just
subjects
cool.
deserve.
Should we try go after her? Nah.
I think I have a better option.
Oh. Nice.
Hey, Starlight.
If you ever need a little chaos in your act, let me know.
When
Yes,
things
please,
Your
please.
wish
Discord
is
Trixie
my
episode,
command.
season 7. Hell, that could be the movie. Just these two doing shenanigans, and I will watch it. I will go and see it 17 times.